Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we are talking AMC. I'm doing my daily update on this stock. I will be doing this probably for the next week or so tune in every single day around 5 to 6 p.m. Central to get this quick update. Now, the stock is actually getting a drop today, so I do want to cover what's going on, the price targets I have for it on the downside, because I believe there is a little bit more downside. I'm not saying the short squeeze is over, but GameStop is definitely taking some of the hype away. So we're going to get into the charts, a little bit of news as well. But before we get to that content, I need you to do one thing and one thing only. Hit that sub button down below, leave a thumbs up, and make sure you have those notifications turned on. I'm not just talking hype stocks on this channel. I'm typically covering the hot trades that I'm taking every single day as far as options, and then my long-term gems. Later on tonight, we'll actually be releasing the hottest penny stock in the actual mineral side of things, and why I think there's tons of upside in this stock, potentially doing a 2 to 3x, nothing crazy like a 10x, so don't get too hyped. But let's not waste any more time. Let's get to it. Going into today, we actually had some relatively good news on AMC. Robinhood announced it is actually dropping some of these restrictions on these stocks, mainly being GameStop. GameStop has seen an overall pretty nice run going into today, hitting that $63.70 marker, doing pretty well. AMC, on the other hand, has actually seen the downside, pushing below the $7 range. We did not want to see this, and I want to explain why I think we could possibly be pushing to $4.50. So I have not entered any positions here. We never got above that $10 marker, which I mentioned. That is really where we wanted to hit and hold to see more of a bullish case scenario and for these short squeeze to really have more impact. As we mentioned in the video yesterday, short interest was down overall. There was a little bit increase, but then we saw it drop tremendously in the middle of the day, give or take. So that really kind of changed the narrative if a short squeeze would happen. But let's get into this article really quick, and then we'll shift gears and go into the chart. This is just a quick article from Market Insider, and really some of the interesting stuff covering the stock. Shares of GameStop spiked as much as 78% on Friday after Robinhood removed trading restrictions on the stock, which has been the center of the retail investor buying spree. Fellow Reddit favorite AMC Entertainment has also climbed 7% on the intraday highs. So going into the market, we did see an initial push like $7.50, and it quickly started to drop back down, now sitting under $7, which is pretty bad. Robinhood a few days ago rolled back restrictions on purchases of shares in the company when traders could buy up to 100 shares of GameStop and 1,250 shares of AMC. Their previous limit was set to 20 shares of GameStop and 350 for AMC. So they have been reducing and rolling this back. I doubt people were buying that many shares either way, especially on the retail side of things with Robinhood. But that is worth noting that those restrictions are lifted at this time. But like I said, the short interest has already been reduced a great bit, and those shorts that are on it in the puts have already been extended a few months. So that is worth noting that this has really been manipulated overall. Looking at the stock, it doesn't look that great. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to just try to get hype from you guys. From the outside and fundamentals looking in, it does not look great. I thought there was a bit of hope on the technical side of things. We're going to get to that here in a second, but I don't think it's looking like we're going to get that $8 to $10 push. Finishing up though, Robinhood had previously said that it had to block purchases to meet a tenfold increase of deposit requirements mandated by clearinghouses registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC. Lawmakers and investors heavily scrutinized Robinhood's decision to impose trading limits. Like I mentioned yesterday, Yellen actually went before the board and was going over these overall events and seeing what the punishment should be. Was it wrong what they were doing? They haven't released too much information, but really they're leaning back on the SEC to make this overall decision, because whatever gets handed out most likely will be a hefty punishment if there is going to be a punishment. I doubt if there's a punishment, it will be just a slap on the wrist. It'll most likely be a pretty big thing. Another thing to notice as well, people are saying that the overall growth of Robinhood is slowing down. Robinhood's growth is actually going up. So if there has been any drop in their actual sales or arbitrage and them going down with new users, in fact, their new users are going up. I've seen multiple people outside of the office and outside of Discord and online that I know personally that are getting into Robinhood over this whole situation, even though it's had a negative narrative for the company. So it is worth noting that Robinhood still looks very, very strong. But what we need to do is take a look at the chart. As you see, we are holding this bottom range right here. I don't know if this can hold much longer. If we do get a break below these ranges right here, this little box, if you will, if we get a break below that, it's not looking good. And most likely coming down from that range, we are going to be touching this $4.50 to the $4 marker. I definitely see that being in the works, maybe even $4.70. I could see us wicking definitely a little bit below there and then coming back up. Like I said, also, analysts are rating this at a $1 to $2 ratio. That's kind of the value of the company that most of these companies are giving. Granted, these companies are very biased on the bear side of things. There has been some relatively good news with AMC saying that bankruptcy is off the table, but it's also worth noting they are also doing some campaigns as far as getting Lord of the Rings showings and old classics to try to promote people coming back into theaters. But COVID is still here, unfortunately, so I don't know how much of the fear and how much of the excitement of getting out will affect the stock. I don't see that being a driving force to push it up to $10. If we're going to want to get that, retail investors are really going to have to step up and be buying shares at this point, because right now it doesn't look that positive. Getting through the weekend will also be pretty key for holding the $6.80 range. If we can get through Friday going into Monday, I definitely see us getting a little bit of a push up to start the week. Every Friday that we can keep going on without getting a massive dump on the stock, which we already have had a relatively massive drop, but holding this overall support, like I mentioned right here, is pretty bullish for the stock and would be very good for the longer term positions, getting back above that $8 to $9 range, pushing the $10 range. As long as we get above $10, I feel very strongly about the stock getting another massive leg up. If we cannot break and hold above that $10 marker right here, I see us going down. That's the biggest thing that I can kind of reiterate to you guys. $10 is the massive support that it has to break. I know some of you would like to just see a local push up to $9, but overall, that's the thing that I'm really watching. Another thing worth noting as well is you can actually see that we are getting pushed below this VWAP and have held below it for some time now, almost 2 days overall, 1, 2. So that's actually showing that the momentum is definitely pushing us on the bearish side of things. So before we consider any type of push to that upside, we want to see a push back above that VWAP. The VWAP will probably trend sideways. Going into Monday, if we're looking bearish though, we're going to expect a massive leg to that $4 range. That's just what I expect. $4.70 all the way down maybe to $4. That's the bearish side for the next leg down. I don't see us just getting a slow gradual push. If we do in fact get a push down, I don't see it being slow. It's going to be a pretty strong immediate leg down. I'm not saying I'm a bear. I'm just saying that's what you should be looking out for coming into Monday if we do look bearish. However, if we hold this range going into Monday, I highly suspect we get some bullish movement on Monday. So as long as we can hold above this $7.80, $7.70 range, I see a bullish case. But besides that, if we still are trending down going into Monday, I see it being pretty bearish. Okay, so wrapping up my thoughts on this stock. I'm more bearish than I have been on AMC overall. We're staying below the VWAP for 2 days consecutively. That looks very terrible. We're not holding any supports at all. We need to see a hold above that $7.70, $7.80 range to even remain somewhat bullish. Volume is trickling down as well. With these restrictions, we actually didn't see a gradual hold of that bullish case. With GME, at least we saw some type of bullish case and we're holding above $60. But with AMC, we're seeing a continued push down and looking even bearish with this good news. So that's not good as well. AMC is releasing good news about the stock, but nothing seems to be helping. So overall, I'm not feeling good on AMC. If you can get a hold above $7.80, I'd feel better. Then on Monday, maybe we consider some short-term calls. But overall, right now, it's looking pretty bearish, and I'm eyeballing that $5 marker. And that's just my thoughts. Do your own due diligence. Look at the stock for yourself. This is just my opinion. I'll have an update coming out tomorrow, just seeing how we close for the day here. Have a good one, guys. Namaste.